Aloha mai kako, and Koma mai curtain call, a weekly program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. Alexander Academy Performing Company presents two major productions annually: the Nutcracker for the Christmas holiday and a spring performance from the classic repertoire. This year, it's Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky's 1877 masterpiece, Swan Lake. It's been a decade since the Academy performed this work, and it featured many of the dancers on stage in the Saturday performance. There is a wonderful photo in the program with not only many of the current corps, but also the lead ballerina, Odette, for Saturday's performance, Aleeya Cantor Charles. It also has brand new costumes designed by former Howard atelier Jennifer OʻBerg. She and her sewing hui, consisting of 43 Maui artisans along with 15 visitor volunteers, put in thousands of hours to create hundreds of custom-made costumes for every dance, and they are stunning. While the Nutcracker is kind of a recital show, Swan Lake is a serious ballet that requires many soloists. Yes, there are adorable moments for the little ones, but most of this work is for highly trained, skilled dancers, and Alexander Performing Academy has them. Swan Lake is a love story about a young woman, Odette, Aleeya Cantor Charles, who has been cursed by an evil sorceress, Baroness von Rothbart, Ella Craft, to join other similarly enchanted maidens as swans by day and women in the evening. Fast forward, we come to the palace, and Prince Sigfried, Nathaniel Hunt, is celebrating his birthday. The Queen, Hallie Hunt, no relation, although extremely ironic, thinks it's time for her son to find a wife. He's not interested and wanders off to the forest. At dusk, he strolls by a lake and sees a flock of swans. As evening comes on, he watches in astonishment as they transform into women. The most beautiful of them, Odette, catches his eye, and well, yes, it's love at first sight. The Queen has thrown a ball where she will present the most beautiful and eligible women from throughout the continent for him to choose a bride. Baroness von Rothbart arrives with Odile, Adele Fabio, who, though dressed in black, bears a striking resemblance to Odette, and she seduces Sigfried, who mistakenly pledges eternal love and proposes to her thinking she is Odette. Realizing his mistake, he is heartbroken. He returns to the lake and begs Odette to forgive him. The Baroness returns with Odile to condemn Odette to a life as a swan. Sigfried tries to defend her, but is struck down. Odette intercedes and protects him, and the Baroness brings her to a precipice, but her love has empowered the swans to overthrow the Baroness and cast her off the cliff, breaking the curse, and she and Sigfried live happily ever after. This ballet has more endings than Agatha Christie mysteries. There are tragic and happy endings, and this one is a combination of the Canadian National Ballet and the Mariinsky Ballet, and some other touches by the Academy. Swan Lake was not initially well received by the critics of the day. Quote, "It was labeled too noisy, too Wagnerian, and too symphonic." The critics also thought Reisinger's choreography was unimaginative and altogether unmemorable. However, since that initial performance, it has become among the most produced ballets the world over, and the music has become iconic. As I said earlier, Swan Lake features two principal ballerinas, Odette and Odile, were originally meant to be performed by two different ballerinas, although many companies now have the same ballerina perform both roles. This production doesn't follow that interpretation. The ballet also has 5 ballerinas with major solos. Also, because there are no males in the Academy capable of doing the jester and the evil one, these were performed by young women. All of the dances performed by the sorcerer turned sorceress had to be re-choreographed, and Hallie Hunt gets the credit for bringing this character to maleficent life. Ms. Craft's dances were powerful, forthright, and compelling. She was evil personified, dark yet beautiful. Outstanding work from Ms. Craft and Ms. Hunt, who consistently creates outstanding works. The jester, Aleeya Phillips, had a big job and performed dances normally performed by a male dancer with power and strength, making us forget the gender bending happening and just appreciate the outstanding performance. Besides her solo, her pas de trois with Leila Gooding and Sky Rosenblad was another high point in her overall exceptional performance. Ms. Gooding and Ms. Rosenblad are among the exceptionally strong dancers the Academy is known for developing, and their point work was a joy to behold. The Little Jesters, choreographed by Amelia Nelson and led by Ms. Phillips, were adorable and hilarious. Some were more taken with the audience than with what they were doing on stage, to the delight of everyone in the house. Besides the solos, another excellent ensemble was the Signet Quartet, which again featured Ms. Rosenblatt and Ms. Gooding, who were ably joined by Chloe Sanders and Kewen Imlay, who was Odette in Sunday's performances. This dance required a series of relevés from first position, which were executed in sync with precision numerous times throughout the work. Here again, the Adorables showed up as baby swans. This work was also choreographed by Ms. Nelson. In the Grand Ball in Act 3, there were 5 countries represented and a princess from each of them. They all acquitted themselves admirably, particularly Jenna Kermode as the Hungarian princess and Anuheya Kelly as the Polish princess. The others were Sidney Rabugio as the Russian, Sierra Berrigan as the Spanish, and Madeline Dennis Walsh as the Neapolitan. The return of Nathaniel Hunt is so welcome. He is not only a great dancer, but also an accomplished and effective teacher. This part requires several solos, as well as a pas de deux with 2 different ballerinas, lifts, leaps, spins, and acting. Mr. Hunt was up to all the tasks. He didn't need any words to let us know how he felt about his mother's wish for him to marry. It was clear you knew right away that the 5 princesses would never measure up to Odette, and when Odile comes in, you could see him being entranced and swayed by her. Ms. Fabio was superb as Odile. She was cunning, magnetic, and stunning in her black tutu. Her partnering with Mr. Hunt was sure, and her lines were spectacular. It was an exceptional performance. Miss Cantor Charles, Odette, was such a swan. When she waved her arms, you expected her to rise into the air. Her final scene vanquishing the Baroness was so triumphant, and when she transformed into a human, there was no doubt about how this was going to end. Happily ever after, for sure. The Alexander Corps had breathtakingly beautiful moments, especially when the 12 were on stage. But when the full corps came on, the stage wasn't big enough for them to fully show their work. The Castle Theater stage, or one like it, is what they need. I do not understand why King Kekaulike Performing Arts Center is not available to them. It is the perfect venue for them, and they perform when school is out. Something needs to be done to make that place available to the arts organizations on Maui the way the other public schools are available for rent. Representative Yamashita was responsible for getting the funds for the center from the state capital improvement budget. It was not funded through the Department of Education budget. It was always meant to be the Upcountry Arts Center. It is past time this came to be. Jennifer OʻBerg and her sewing hui, along with the volunteer visitors, provided gorgeous original costumes for this entire production. She is such an incredible gift to Maui's art scene. These costumes raised the production values to the level of excellence of the performances. Everyone looked great. Artistic Director Absalon Figueroa was responsible for putting this performance together, along with Academy faculty Audrey Billups, Hallie Hunt, and Amelia Nelson. Big kudos to them, as well as lighting designer Ava Notarangelo, lighting and sound technicians Sarah OʻBerg and Steve Burgess, and backstage manager Jenny Baker. The final performance was on Sunday, and I have no doubt the cast for those shows was as good as those for the Saturday ones. 7 members are graduating: Luz Bridgeford, Claire Eller, Adele Fabio, Ululani Leapa'a, Keona Long, Sunny Rajesh, and Sidney Rabugio. We wish them all the best. Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Mahalo for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Maui strong. Ahui ho.